Hi family, hi folks. I don't know if you can see that, I'm not zoomed in as yet. Okay, and that's Alexa's time and date before we get started. Alexa, what date is it?
It's Saturday the 27th of July.
It's a bit low, she's a bit low. Saturday the 27th of July. And Alexa, what time is it?
It's 11:47 p.m.
11:47 p.m. Okie dokie. Not zoomed in. It's moved across the skyline as they do, as the crafts do, as the night goes on, following their pathway. You can see where I'm filming from. I've not enlarged anything. Oh, there's one over there. Hi family, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to enlarge this one so you can see it, hopefully. There. Will I be able to? Oh, there it is. There you go, you can see it. So there's one there. That's visible. Hi family. And there's one, I think it's a craft actually, that's cloaking itself. And there's one, go back, take it off, then go back to it, there it is. And there's one there. Not zoomed in all the way. Then can you see the other light above it? And that's why I say I believe it's part of a craft. Seem to move in unison together. It's not set when it does that. Okay, when I look back on the film, it doesn't seem to be juttering. But when I'm watching it through the camera and with the naked eye, I can see it juttering. Okay, I'm just getting, it's not going to be long. Ooh. I'm not going to be long. See that? Hi family. Okay, I was going to go on, so it's 3 hours. Oh God, I don't even know what to talk about. I'm ill, so I think I was coming down with something. When you're ill, you don't really know it. Anyway, you feel it the next day, so can I zoom in as much as possible? And that's my family regarding the DNA. Okay? Is that okay, family? Yes. Okay. There's a DNA sequence that's been placed on Earth and mixed with humanity. DNA that was created by demons, evil folks, the parasites. Is that so, family? And it's only a very small, a tiny bit of Earth's population that has this DNA, well, originally had this DNA. Okay? See it juttering? Okay. Think of the aristocracy, I can't even say the word. The elites, the royal family, the aristocracy, can't say it, but you know what I mean. I really want to name a family, and you would all know, if I was to say this family's name, you would all know who I mean. I'm thinking along those bloodlines. They are not part of the creators. So that's so family. They were not created as humans. They weren't created by the creator. Okay, and all you have to do is look at the world's history. Just go back, check as many facts as possible, look at the world's history. Okay, and behind all the wars, all the conflicts, etc., etc., They've always been a small group, even if they've not named. You'll find sort of like a sentence. They were given guns by this person or this organisation or this country, or they had links with this country and that country and X, Y, Z. And I've said this previously. Look at the people throughout history. The communities that have been persecuted. That will give you a perfect answer. Look at colonialism, okay. A few in the UK. Look at Australia. There is what happened to the original people, and what's still happening to the original people. Australia, Canada, the first people of Canada, New Zealand. If you look at the people, and I'm gonna sort of move on as well and look at the Italian and the Italian history. Look at the Irish history. Recent history and past history. Okay, so that's correct, family. And what was behind all those conflicts, all those genocides? Who was behind it? Is that correct? Okay, there's always been one Pacific group. And they might have moved countries, they may have emigrated and started up countries, started America, started, Australia and blah, 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 blah. But they were never originally, and I'm not knocking Americans, white Americans, because, like I say, our bloodline, we've been mixed. So not everybody, and not every white person. I'm not talking about, it's not to do, they've made it about race, okay? The parasites have made it about race. It's not about race, they made it about black and white, etc. With white, blonde hair, blue eyes being superior. Even if you look at their own genetics now, that's not the case. They know this, and they've always known this. Look at the statues in Egypt, and the sculptures and the massive, and the nose has always been distorted. And when you sort of go on to sort of internet posts, all the black history, they're trying to destroy black people and black history. It's not black history, it's human history. Humans as a whole. So blonde hair, blue eye, that's your history there you try to destroy or try to hide the true nature of where you come from, where, your DNA. Where you come from, the bluest, beautifulest, blackest man. It's your history as well. It's not just black people's history, it's human history as a whole that have tried to destroy, and they've sort of like attack the noses of these statues because they want to hide it and sort of create a division. Is that so, family? Between black and white, there's always, with this parasitic demonic entity, they have to break down society. They have to do anything possible to cause division within society. And that's always been the case. It's not just in 100 years, 1,000 years. It's always been the case since they've landed on Earth. Okay, they've always had to do that to stop any united front. I was going to say, yeah, God, any unity between people. Okay, so not just with race, but with class, especially with different genders. There's always been, so men are better than women, men are stronger than women, blah, 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 blah. There's always been a division, and they've done this by purpose, and they've either done it via religious ways or men are just naturally stronger, so we should have more, and we should be in control, and blah blah blah. And you women with your emotions being all weak and fucking whatever to say. So they've always created this division, either through religious means, through the teachings of a particular culture, where the culture has been based. Yeah. Okay, so it's not just saying, it's just 1 tiny % of the population, and the conspiracy theorists, don't get me, I still can't speak. Anyway, conspiracy theorists will tell you that it's this family, and they'll name a family, and it's not the entities that are really, really controlling the world. You will never see them. You hope in your lifetime you will never see them, even though they do like to do things. It's like so family. I'm talking and I should be asking questions and waiting for a response. It's like so family. Okay. These humans, the top humans, are linked to demons. All of these, like creature beasts, have fucking add to themselves and say they've got entity attachment, they've got demons attached. Okay, this is what's happening now, because I keep saying the change in the energy frequency of the earth is changing, the human resonance changing, and we all are getting more insightful, more intuitive, and we'll be able to see people, inverted commas, for what they really are. So that's so family. So everything's ramping up. Okay, so we are told to accept the unacceptable. We are told to go against our own instincts. We don't want to accept that group because, you know, everybody should be able to do what they want to do, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and that's part of the gaslighting, and that's part, and the mocking of humanity. That's so family. Okay, and the creator religion, and the different religions as a diversion, as another divide. And it shouldn't be. It's not. Religion was created initially by man, but it was done to divide people. Okay, we think as humans that we have reached the pinnacle of what humans can do. The technology keeps advancing, and we are the best of what we are now in society. That's not the case at all. We are the dumbest we've ever been. The literally dumbest. Our abilities, psychic abilities, have been culled for ions. Okay, and this is why they're trying to stop it happening now, because we can see people for what they are. When I say to you, I can see the demons of these fucking people describing. I can see the insectoids of these fucking entities. That's think the human. I literally can. When I see them, when I say they're not part, their energy is not part of this earth. It's a blackness. It literally is black. Their aura is black. Around them, above them, is black. Okay, when I say that the entities, and all we have to do, and I'm saying, I'm including if you're human and you listen to this, is connect with your heart. You don't have to do anything to fight these demons off. Like I say, with me, I'm surrounded by them for fucking 10 years. I'm surrounded by these fucking creatures who gaslight me on a fucking day-to-day basis, and the racist abuse and blah, blah, blah. This is how stupid they are. Okay, somebody in touch with higher intelligent beings who happens to be black and a woman, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to send somebody to rape you. Oh, there's a craft line. You know what I'm like, folks? Here we go. Hi, family. I just accepted somebody. Said somebody's name. Was that a yes? No. That was no. It was going up there. Okay, it's mostly red light. Okay, I don't want this to start and be having a little rant. Yeah, and all you have to do, okay, at the beginning of this, like I said, I'd also go on camera and explain what I did. And the deity are called. I didn't need to do any of that. But I think because I was the fucking police and the council and literally the rapist that lived across the road from me and the racists in the block, my will to fight and my disgust, instead of being fear-filled by them, the creatures disgust me and still disgust me. Okay? And that, they weren't expecting that. They weren't expecting, once you get over the shock that everything you see and the news reports and the media and the history has been doctored to such a degree. Once you get over that, you don't have to lie down for a week or two. And that they are demons, and that they are MPs, are pop stars, are media type, are social influence. What the fuck do you need influence for? By someone in a box. Why the fuck do you need a social influence? I don't understand that. I'm at that age where why do you need somebody who's all smile, who's been media trained, been told what to think or do? Anyway, I'm going off the point now, mate. Anyway, going off the point. Okay, do you see a flash there? Why are these entities doing what they do? Because they're being told to do what they do. There's another flying crowd. Do you see the flash there? Hiya. Can you flash again? Please. Anyway, I'm not going to go on. I'm going to little rant there. But, yes. Anyway, yeah, so everything, all the media, what you see is geared to do a specific job, to evoke an emotion or a feeling, or to change your ideology regarding certain things, etc., against your better judgment. If you see something often enough, you become to accept it, especially if you think nobody else is objecting about this. It's Creature Beast. See if you can get the car number, a registration number. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so you're made to accept certain things, going off the tangent there. So the DNA, okay, and that's been done deliberately, okay, and they know that they've got demons, entities attached to them. Okay, if you look at my last post, I posted some videos where the Creature Beasts talking amongst themselves about an undercover police officer who's into fucking infant rape, by the way, who pretended to be a postman who's back on the scene, living in one of the flats. They took over. So in one area, right, if one person's being targeted, you guarantee, because I knew it's not just me being targeted, there's other people in this area that's being targeted so they can take over the flats. It's a privately built, privately owned flats. So one they've taken over was this fucking child molester, infant rape fantasist, Nigel, the undercover police officer, where the Creature Beasts are talking amongst themselves and saying something like, yeah, he thinks that, so what is he going to do about, the aliens or the lights, the UFOs or something? And then this Nigel thinks that, and they're talking amongst themselves, and one says to the other, well, what's he going to do about the UFOs, talking about me, and the guy says, he thinks the demons are going to save him, I'm going to protect him. He's the third person that's involved in a targeting programme that I've heard they used the word protect. They're going to be protected. You are not protected either on this earth by humans or by the demons that you've got on to you. You've signed up to demons. How the fuck you get demons to protect you when they're feeding off you? And like I said, before they said that, before he said any of that, I think I did a post where I did say that I saw it. He made a point of talking really loudly on the phone, so I'd look up to where he was, change his all look, but I knew it was it from previously, from Lie, and the entity that was attached to him, like I said previously, moved away from where I was. I think it's 2 or 3 metres away. I think it's more, actually. It was like upstairs where this building is. I don't know where it is. I know where it is, but it's hard to say, about 5 metres away. So even that distance, the entity now moved away from me. My energetic field is growing. And the reason why I'm saying this is not to brag. It's to sort of, any humans listening to me, listen, there are demons. Go back, listen to my post, listen to the Creature Beast. Okay, I'm going on one. Breathe, Joe. Okay, family. Are the demons evil entities on earth? Look at the MPs in Lie. I've got entity attachments, got demons attached. Is that so, family? Yeah. Look at Derby MPs. Have they got entity attachments? Demons attached. I'm not moving the phone. Okay, the local MP for my area is a guy called Martin. I can't believe she's not cracked up yet. Rittman. Has he got entities? He's had entities on him for fucking years, I think, since he was a child. Is that correct, family? Got demons attached. Yeah. Okay. He's got a thing about watch me have a shit on the toilet. Is that correct, family? Does he like to wank himself off while I'm having a poo? Oh, that's very active. Okay. When I say to you this programme is sexually deviant and sexually perverse, I've been saying that from the very, very beginning, because the reason why it all started with me is because they've been texting a rapist. When I say that there's child molesters, there's Chief Inspector Jamie Hobday, who's a child molester in this programme. All his colleagues at Westminster Police know this. Simon Foster knows this. Simon Foster's been involved in the fucking targeting programme from year dot from his took his post. Look at who Simon Foster is. Is that correct, family? Simon Foster's well aware of the child molesters in his force. Chief Inspector Jamie Hobday, and Chief Inspector Jamie Hobday is still involved in my targeting. So West Midlands police officers are still involved in my targeting. In fact, a little fucking midget was around tonight. Is that so, family? Okay. So what I am saying, with all this, what's going off, okay, if you're a human, all you have to do, I was going to say, is not be a nonce, which is a big tick, actually. Big fucking tick. Don't be a nonce. Don't be influenced by somebody who's going to use their job title to try to influence you. Well, either they're an MP or say, well, everybody's doing this. This is how society has been run for X, Y amount of years. Look at the royal family, look at this pop star, look at this actor, you know, do you think they could have got where they are without being involved in this programme and blah, 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 and being in part of the system? Okay, everyone that's been involved in, or part of the system has got entity attachments, demons attached. Let's get them on with the DNA. I'm coming up to it. Okay, the people now with the Freemasons and other nefarious groups, they've always used evil occult knowledge. I will say, I call it evil, very judgy, but I can't put it anywhere. I'm not going to say dark, but I'm just going to say evil occult knowledge. If you go back to one of my other posts where the creature beasts are talking and trying to recruit me, the last few months it's been in Derby, especially the last few months, they've said, join us. You know how fucking sick these creatures are. I went on it on my last post, so I won't go into it, but yeah, join us, okay? Knowing that I can see the demons on them. As a human, would you want, and I know, and they know that there's higher beings, that there's positive beings, that there's loving beings. Is that so, family? Okay, is that so? Who am I talking to? I'm talking to the creators of who created me, who created the vast majority of humans on this planet. Is that so, family? They've never made me do anything or say anything, or when I might do it now. There's things that there's one thing they've done and I didn't like, and it pissed me off, and stopped it straight away. They've not done it since. But it's flashy with the fucking lights in the sky. I don't know why it pissed me off so much, but it really did. And that's it, and I stopped straight away. Okay? They've never made me do anything at all. And one thing suggested, which was for my own benefit, my own health, regarding the arthritis and shit. And I never did. I will get on to doing it, a certain type of exercise. That's the only thing that says, you know, it would benefit you if you did this. And I haven't done it, and my arthritis is fucking got 10 times worse. Whereas with the creature beasts, I've told you this previously, they're very subservient. There is a pecking order. Because they feed off fear, they feed off being in control. So the demons are in control of them and feeding off their fear, and when these creature beasts interact with a human, they feed on whatever interaction, especially if it's a negative one, they're feeding off that as well, okay? And I keep saying, all you have to do is go into your heart. Be as happy, be as joyful, be as content in what you're doing in life as possible. That's why we're in the shit show of the cost of living crisis. That's why there's a news channel fucking 24/7 a day broadcasting bollocks, horrifying, sad situations, just to keep that energetic frequency in society, keep that energetic frequency in whatever group, whatever country, okay? This encounter, fantastic for me, but this is not the only thing that they're doing. I'm not the only one, and I keep saying this. And it's not just ordinary people having this contact. There's people that are placed on Earth that are working in government departments, working in councils, working in top military defence bases, etc., etc. All the world leaders know about this, by the way. That this war is a war between humanity and evil and the parasites, okay? And they use whatever divisional ways to create that division, okay? Divisional ways. Is that a word? Divisory ways. Okay, so the news where, I'm not going into that one, I can't be asked. So there is good. They are good entities, another creature beast. It's not being so active, literally very active, the fuckers. They are, and you've just heard me swearing. If you go back, I start, because they actually do. It's in normal life, I don't swear as much as this. Do I? No, I don't actually. I don't. And I've told you that I'd never used the word see you next Tuesday until describe these creature beasts, because they are rancid. There's no words. I've got no more verbs? Object. Do you know, I do know words. Seriously, folks, I do know. I went to school and uni and shit. But anyway, so they just make me so angry. And this new age crap about not being angry and not fighting back, that's to make you complicit with whatever's happening to you, whatever negative influence is happening to you. It's to make you complicit to it. And that thing where all the religions and all the new age philosophies say, oh, you have to forgive. No, you don't. No, you fucking don't at all. I've told you, I made it obvious when my father came in a dream, and he was led to me by my maternal grandfather, who I can't remember meeting. I think I've said this. I hope my family verifies this out. And my maternal grandfather hardly speaks. He's very quiet. I don't know anybody who knows him, who knew him, will verify what I'm saying. He's very soft-spoken. He hardly speaks. He speaks. When he speaks, it's meaning to converse information. He doesn't chat for nothing. Okay? Brought him, and he said to me who he was. And there's a picture on this post. That's him. Okay? So the picture of the black guy in the hat and the overcoat, the three-piece suit he was wearing, that's what he came to me in, okay? And he came down with my father, and he says, and my father wanted to apologise, says, well, will you forgive me, or will you? And I was like, nope. In the stream, it's like, nope. Nah, man. And you think I would, knowing me, and I was surprised at myself, at my own reaction. knowing this is my grandfather, and it's sort of like you want to sort of create a good impression, don't you? No, man, not me. I was like, nope. And my grandfather sort of smiled and sort of like led him away back up these stairs. And the stairs were like ordinary, like you've seen a house. That's how they came to me in a dream. And then a couple of years afterwards, this contact with my family. So that's so family. Did that dream happen? Okay. So this bollocks about forgiving people who intentionally, and I mean people who intentionally cause you harm over a period of time, that's a load of bollocks. You don't have to. What I would say is make peace with what's ever happened and fuck them off. You know what I mean? You can just as long as you work through whatever pain, whatever issues, what may have been resulted from what they've done, work through it so you're healthy. Doesn't mean you have to forgive them. Because I haven't. Why should I forgive? Especially if came to him when he was dead, obviously. Show the error of his ways. This is what I mean. There's so much that we've been, so much bollocks that's been put out there, especially in religious terms, the religious ideologies, New Age. That how you should behave, and if you go back and just sort of like stand back on what you're reading and analysing what they say, they want you to be a passive and accept whatever situation you're in, especially if somebody's doing you harm, as a part. This is part of your learning. This is what's meant for you, and this is going to make you stronger, and blah 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 blah. That's a load of bollocks, and that's been put in by the parasitic beings. Okay, the entities. So you don't have to live a goody two-shoe life. And like I said previously, the people, you'd be surprised who has got demons on them. Or like I said, look at the MPs. Okay, just the snapshot. Just look at the MPs in Derby and look at the MPs in Stourbridge, Dudley Council. I could go on about the MPs at fucking Parliament. Oh God. Yeah, just look at the MPs, and they're supposed to be the very essence of respectability, of being compassionate human beings that's doing it for the good of the country. They've got their job for doing it the good of the country, and it's the reverse. Okay, and people that I've seen that have light and they're glowing don't even know that. They're walking around not knowing who they are, but they're glowing. Okay, like I say, that white guy with blonde hair, that refuse collector, young guy, and his colleagues fucking ripping him to part, trying to destroy him because he was glowing. He wasn't one of them. And this other white guy, this youth, I call them youths, I don't know, their ages, 20s something. And he's walking along the street not knowing who he is and what energy he's linked to. And that's what they want. They want you not to connect or realise how strong you are. And just by saying no and having your own moral compass or being authentically you. Don't try to copy what the fucking pop stars. There's another flying craft. Ooh, here we go. Hi, family. I'm not going to be here all night. I said that last night, or the night before. Should have enlarged it. Okay. Yeah. And also as well, so it's not just, I saw sort of Rastafarians. There's a association of Rastafarians in Jamaica. And this was years ago I come across this post. And you didn't realise what was happening. I was just like, about 10 years ago this was. No more. Long before the targeting and long before the family made themselves presidents. And there was about 4 or 5 of them standing and talking to the news of Jamaica about something. I don't know if it was being recognised, Rastafarians being recognised. I don't know what was happening. I can't remember now. I'm too old. Anyway, I saw them glowing, but at the time, you're going to look back at situations that people that you've interacted with, and you're going to say, oh, fucking, I didn't realise. Okay, I saw all of them but one was glowing. Literally light was coming from them. Is that so, family? Yeah, I've got that. Light was glowing off them. And it wasn't until now when I realise and I think back on people that I've met in situations or people that I've not met, I've just seen sort of online, or you see things, you think, oh God, yes. And this is what's going to be like for you. I don't know who you are, I don't know who listens to this, but you could be actually right now ready to have contact, to be glowing yourself. You may feel like fucking shit physically, and humanly, you're just like, trudging through life thinking, okay, get this week over and then I'm on holiday. Creature beast just walk past. Get this week over. You know what I mean? You sort of you put markers through life to get through it. So fucking rough at the moment, purposely, especially in the UK. Anyway, yeah, so without knowing who you are, without knowing who you're linked to, that you are already linked to higher beings. And I kept saying this thing about craft or something like, okay, about people meditating. I only said that so you get to learn your own energy. You get to learn to be still. You get to learn in any situation that in a minute you can be still. It's really important. But I think that's for another time. Yeah, it is for another time. I'm not going into it now. When you learn to control your emotions, you see what's happening, but you learn to not involve or invoke an emotional response, because that's what these creatures fucking love, especially if it's a negative response as well. Okay, where that light is coming from, I don't know if you can see that. That's the flats. Okay, I'm on the ground floor, and that light has just been turned on. It's either number 10. I don't know why I'm pointing that way because you can't fucking see it right where it's coming from. It's an undercover police officer, I told you, with his son and his missus. He just got, anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. So you don't know who you are. And I told you about, they love to feed off any negativity, anxiety, fears, make you anxious, even if it's just for a little bit. They'll head fuck you any way they can, okay? That's anything, any negativity that they can evoke from somebody, they're going to do it. Is that correct, family? They hate people that are connected to their clan. They hate all this. They hate me. One, because it's targeted and not winning. And two, because I'm in contact with higher beings. Really, and they want me to join. And they know as well, so anybody watching this as part of the fucking Creature Beast programme, they know, my family told me that if I had joined them, there's another flying craft. Woohoo! Do you know, you're doing this on purpose, family, you know I'm ill. Joints are hurting, everything's hurting. I've got no weed, not like I smoke weed, or anything like that. That'd be illegal. Very illegal unless you get a medical prescription for it. Yeah, so anything that they can do to evoke fear, to lower your emotions, to lower the frequency of you and the people around you and the situation, they will do, okay? We are connected. If you're human, you are connected to high beings. Like I've said, there is evil. January demons are on earth feeding off these entities that are trying to feed, and then are trying to evoke a reaction or trying to scare us or trying to cause World War III in the world. So these and they know they've got entity attachments. Like I say, every world leader knows about demons. They've known that there's a shift in the world, and all you've got to do is just look at the world leaders, look at the countries and their stance and the genocide that's happening in Israel against Palestinians. I was going to say something else there. Yeah, and Russia, what's happening between the UK, and I told you about that previously, okay. Russia won't lose, by the way. I'm just going to put it out there. Yeah, Russia and its allies, and their allies, I should say, will not lose if there is a World War III, which he doesn't want, Putin does not want. Is that correct, family? He didn't want the conflict with Ukraine, but America was behind that to weaken Russia's economy. And with the sanctions, it hasn't worked. The sanctions hasn't worked, okay, regarding Russia. Hasn't weakened them, okay. If there is a World War III, Russia would not lose, and the countries associated with Russia will not lose. And what the fucked up thing is, our world leaders know this. So in the US, the world leaders will know this. The UK, Israel know this. France knows this. Germany knows this. Poland know this. But if they could cause as much pain to humanity as possible, they will do so. Okay. And to say I'm thinking of learning Russian, I am. I want to learn how to cook jollofi rice. Do you know that African rice, the tomatoes? But I've never had jollofi rice, and I want somebody to say, okay, this is a good jollofi rice. Go for that. Order from that. That's really good. So I know something to judge. So two things. There's a big hint in there, what I've just said. Jollofi rice, and I want to learn to speak Russian. I'm going to learn to speak Russian. Very beginners. Very beginners. This thing online. Okay. Russia will, and its allies, the countries that will side with Russia, will not lose. And it's purposely warmongering the US, the UK, France, their actions are very purposeful, and they know what they want, and they don't give a fuck about the civilians in their country. Don't give two shits. Don't think your Prime Minister or our Prime Minister, God, which one it is, gives a shit about you. Let that fucker go right there. If you're in the US, you know that already, especially if you're black. Don't think they care about you. Okay, we are chattel to them. We are the useless feeders. If you realise the level of contempt that pop stars and people in the system have for ordinary humans, and that stems back to the demons, the entities I told you about regarding our creators, regarding the creators themselves and the beings linked to the creators, and everything. They hate anything to do with the creator. Anything to do with the creator, they hate. Okay, that's why various communities, races of people have been targeted in the past. Okay, and the very elites have not. They know this. The elites, you'd be surprised how many people, especially I'm talking about the UK, in the establishment, know all this and are planning this and are sort of like gearing themselves up for it, knowing that it's going to be ordinary people that suffers, not them. They enjoy our suffering. Is that so, family? The people in the system enjoy the suffering. Like I say, we'll go on camera and talk about how it was confirmed with fucking housing managers, Insectoid Bennett, when she's speaking to other housing managers. They like people to be suffering. Is that correct, family? The more, even if it's just one person, little me. And it just confirmed what I've been told, that they like suffering. To see you content with your lot. There is a craft just there. It won't be picked up by camera. Is that correct, family? And it depends on where, is that correct? Sorry, it's me, just me to phone. They enjoy suffering of humans, of animals, anything connected to the creator. If they can destroy it, mock it in any way, they will do. And like I said previously, they have to pretend to be human, to be better than us, to be more humane, fighting for their people, either for their group, what they've linked themselves to, for their religion, for whatever. But it's all to do, they don't give a shit about their own people that are beneath them. Like I keep saying, there is a pecking order. They're into superiority. So the very top are these demons, and then it goes down, 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 down till you got the fucking pisshead like I've got with number 2. Kate, pisshead number 2. Who actually was singing a song about child molestation, about paedophiles and kids. It's not the correct family. You don't and the reason why they're targeting kids, get them young. If they can, I'm going to go on to this another time, but if we get them young, get them thinking that this is right, what's happening is right, they've got them. If you've got no memory of a time where society went in conflict, one group against the other, one generation against the other, one race against the other, that's always been the case. They've done that on purpose. Religious groups against each other. That's been always the case. Anyway, I'll start on the children. There's not much to say about the children. They've even said it themselves. Go back to my post and say about the children and the infants and why there's a high percentage of child molesters involved in this programme. And I've said that from the very beginning, even before the Creech Weeks finally admitted it this year. This is a recent thing they finally admitted, that there is a high degree of child molesters. And then go back and look at your council workers, look at the MPs, look at senior police officers, look at Simon Foster and his bollocks and the various campaigns they have. It's all a load of bollocks. And they can lie like that because they're mocking humanity, they're mocking us. To them, we're nothing, useless eaters. And all you have to do, I'll get back to the original point and I'm going to stop. I said this previously, all you have to do is link into your heart, be authentic. I have always had a sense of a moral compass, my own moral compass. I sort of nicknamed it a book of life, my own book of life, my own rules, what I would accept from people and what I won't accept and what I would do myself, right from a very early age. I never discussed it. I thought everybody had this thing where you've sussed life out at a very early age and who you are and the people around you. Apparently not always. But I did, very young age. Not very ill. Yeah, so I had my own moral compass. When you link in with your family, the more you link in with your family, the more you get to know yourself as well. And we're not all the same, personality-wise, character-wise. Just as in human form, we're not all the same. But what you will never find amongst our family, my family, higher beings, the creators, is paedophiles, is racists. You won't find people that are spiteful in nature, just bad mind. In Jamaica, call it bad-minded. I don't know, is it spiteful? Jamaicans out there would say bad-minded is spiteful, equal to spiteful. Hate-filled. People just chat hate all the time, always negative, always chatting hate. And you can see them when they're talking regarding a certain negative situation, like with the Glenfall situation. I speak to my cousin, Angie, the one that's a police informer, who also got a mother targeted as well, who was involved in this. And just after Glenfall, and I was going, awful. I actually did feel awful. I am quite an empathetic person. And I was saying it's really awful. And I could tell she was talking about it. And I made her stop because she was getting a buzz out of talking about it. So them kind of people. Is that true, family? They're not interested to find out what's what. They're not talking about it to find out what's what. But you can tell them they're getting fucking turned on by chatting about hundreds of deaths. It's hundreds of deaths, by the way. That's so family. And I stopped talking about it because I realised over the first she's getting fucking off on this. So the certain people you know that are just bad-minded won't be part of the creator's plan. There's certain personality types you just know, okay? And most of us, we analyse ourselves far too much. We instead of being authentic, our authentic self, and not following the crowd, because we think the crowd may be right. Sometimes it's better to stand on your own and think, no, this is what I believe, and I'm going to stand on it. And what my belief is it's not harming anybody, or your viewpoint or your opinion it's not going to cause anybody any harm. It's not filled with hate, so you're not homophobic. Even though you say you're a Christian, I'm doing this with regard to Christianity, or I'm a Muslim, and we don't do that. It's not coming from a place of hate or inferiority complex regarding the race issue. That the parasites, the elites, the aristocracy, still can't say it right, have to feel superior because of the beings on them. The demons make them think they're superior. They give them money, they give them weapons, and there's, like I say, evil occult knowledge to put things in place, and they know that they haven't got a moral compass to stop what they're doing. It's not until it comes out and they can't deny it. Another flying craft. I want to enlarge it this time as much as I can. I think when they enlarge it, you can't see the true, like the individual lights as much. Same. Hi, family. Getting quite slow, aren't you? I just asked if it was somebody I knew. It's flying upwards, so I don't know. Anyway, yeah, there's so many, and we've been conditioned that if you're to be considered good, to be considered holy or spiritual, you have to be vegan, you have to be this, you've got to be that, you've got to meditate or pray a certain amount, you've got to forgive others who commit sins against you, and blah, de, blah, de, blah, and you don't have to be. And that's all to do with controlling you as well. All to do with control. But if you think about life and the people you've met, I'm an old woman now, so yeah. And this happening, obviously, and the targeting, I've had a lot of analysing, a lot of reflective thinking to do. But before then, even as a child, I knew things weren't right, but like I say, my family told me that I was committing, before I was born, I was committing contact. So I don't know if that was already in my psyche and I wasn't completely consciously aware of it or not. I don't know how much influence my being connected to my family so obviously had over what I was like as a child. There's a lot. Is it a lot, family? Not quite an influence. Oh, you say there's quite a lot. Okay. That's good. Because I'd be swearing a lot. And I think things are funny that I shouldn't really be laughing at sometimes. But there you go. There you go. I keep seeing news of, the American, is it Democratic debate? Who's going to take over? Oh, doesn't really matter. And still, and it's the same person that keeps on saying, it's the same name that keeps popping up. And I think I said it last time before I go, you would think a female would be more maternalistic in their approach. We tend to think that automatically. It's not always the case, folks. Trust me. So, yeah, you don't have to do X, Y, and Z to be contacted or to be connected to higher beings, okay? They're still going to love you if every Friday night you get fucking wasted with your mates. doing various substances, and then you go back on Monday, you know what I mean, go back to work on Monday, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit about that, as long as you don't commit crime when you're doing that. Go raping children, that'd be awful, don't be doing that. But you know what I mean? Still class, what we do. And the worst thing, this is what I mean about paedophilia, sorry, and why it's so rampant, because they know, the entities know that's the worst thing you can do to a human, to humanity. It affects humanity to such a greater extent than anything else. Okay? And that's why such a high percentage of paedophiles in this programme. Because the children getting molested now, and our children getting molested, they're going to think it's normal. And I'm going to say, well, the normal people, humans, don't understand it, but, you know, we do. And look, I'm friends with this MP and this police officer, like fucking sick midget Jamie Hobday. He's a child molester as well, and blah, 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 blah. And the royal family, look what Andrew did, and look how many friends that were paedophiles that the king gave OBEs to and MBEs to. And this is what's happening. I won't mention the opening of the Olympic Games. I won't mention that. Or the March Today in London by Tommy Robertson, who's do you know, is paid. Does anybody, okay, people realise that, don't they? He works whoever pays him the highest money. You know that he hasn't got the intelligence. He's made for belief in words, but he hasn't got the intelligence to do this all by his own. You know, he's like a stooge. He's been put out to do his things, and then bring him back in again. Is that so, family? He's paid by the highest. Oh, God, this thing in the way. He's paid by the highest. Whoever pays him. And there was a BBC documentary about him about 20 or 30 years ago, where he actually says that he's paid. And after that, there was a thing about, it was an Asian guy, Asian politician in Douglas, surprise, surprise, who met up with him. And they were talking about doing a planned attack on this MP or something, so this MP will be noticed in Parliament. And this, I think it was Panorama, is that still going? I don't know. And this Panorama, it was saying, yeah, it's paid by Asian guys, it's paid by, you know, to create these staged events. There's all staged events, so many staged events. Going off the point slightly around the DNA, but this is what I mean. There was somebody paying him, and then be somebody above somebody who he had talked to. This is how it happens. Nothing in society is ever normally, literally, unless it's something to do with the weather, it just happens. Okay? With the DNA, we have so much. We all are mixed. I think if it, and we just was it ancestry.com, is it? And so many people have found out that they are not just one or two races of people. So they might have mixed. So they might have African, 6% African, Ghanaian blood. It's not even Ghanaian blood. There might be Irish, 4%, and Chinese, another 18%, but look completely white, blonde hair, blue eyes. It's not the race. We've been mixed so often, so it's not the race. But these people, the elites, the royal families, they will tend to breed within people from their own. And we all do to some extent, people that are for our own area, from our own sort of cultural background. But for them, it's something else as well. Okay, there's an extra added bonus of demons. and they normally pick people or choose people, well, they have picked people that is very easy for the entity to control that person and for the person not to fight back because they have no connection to higher beings, they have no heart energy. So it's fine, they will do it without, any remorse whatsoever. Because they've been told that humans are weak and we're pathetic and we're useless feeders or useless eaters or whatever they call us. I can remember, I'm going to leave on this point. It's a great point to leave on after, don't fuck it up. Okay, once I watched this programme, there's stuff of flying craft. A bit lower in the skyline. Hiya. Quite slow. Okay, I can hear the creature beef in the background. I'm like, oh, my urge to punch him in the face is very strong. Look, I'm old. I'm into non-violence. I don't fancy prison. There's a lot of many things that put me off. So I hand their fuckery over to my family to deal with. And that's so family. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to end on this one. Years ago, I was watching an old TV item, okay, and I think it was done in the 60s, late 60s or 70s, where there was Prince Charles, there was, what's that one with the cigar? Child molester, I can't think of his fucking name now. Jimmy Savile, not Jimmy Savile, Jimmy Savile, yeah, it's Savile, innit? Okay, so it was the Prince Charles, Jimmy Savile, a few officials around them, but in front of them, sort of like the ordinary members of the public, standing quite close, wherever there was, they sort of like stood in a doorway, okay, like they were coming out to greet these members of the public. And the public members of the public were quite near, so it's not like now where there's got barricades. It wasn't. It was just like rows, and there were mainly women out there, and there were rows, literally this crowd, okay, and they were right up near to the doorway. So the crowd was right up near to the doorway and the path. No barriers. And remember, Prince Charles turned to Savile and says, how do you relate to these people? How can you relate to them? And Jimmy Savile sort of like says, oh, I don't know, he sort of like shrugs and says, watch this. And you know that thing he used to do with like, are you all right? I don't know what this fucking catchphrase was. I thought it was a bit of a nonsense, even as a child myself. But I can always remember that. And I remember watching it as well. And a member of the crowd obviously heard, because right in front of them, not giving a shit that you could hear. The news cameras were there, so that's how I, saw it. There was like an old news clip, and Prince Charles, how can you relate to them? How do you relate to them? How can you relate to these people? You had no concept. And Jimmy Savile sort of like shook his shoulders. There's all watch this and does this thing with the cigars. He puts it in his mouth. He goes, oh, hello then, or whatever fucking phrase he used. Is that correct, family? Okay, I'm going to end on that. Next change. That sums everything up, okay? No matter what, they've not learnt anything. They cannot relate to us. The creature beast, they can't understand why I've not broken, why I've not joined them. All the infant rape fantasies, the racist abuse, the threats, the death threats, they can't understand it, okay? And they've even said, go back to my page where they've said the counsellors just can't understand it. Why you've not joined us, why won't you join us, why haven't you cried? They can't, in their head, they've got no conception how human beings feel. So that's so family. And that clip, if I can get to find it, or if anybody remembers seeing it themselves, you'll know what I mean. And he said it right in front of all the members of the public, and some of them actually turned, sort of looked, they heard what it said and looked, and stopped instantly clapping and smiling, and just looked. And the rest of them were so fucking admired, that, they were standing they were so near to a royal family member, so near to a celebrity, that they continued to clap, they continued to smile and go, ah, making noise and shit. But that sums it up for you. What I say about the DNA and people just not getting who people are and don't see people who are not like them as human, as being as value, and just not understanding. That clip sums it up. For now, folks, I'm going to leave it there, okay? In that side, family, I'll move the phone a bit, move along. Oh shit, where's it gone? Okay, I'm going now, folks. But I'm going to come back together and I'm going to ask my family again about that clip, and you can see their reaction for yourself. And that really did happen. They've got no concept of what being a human is, especially the positive traits of being a human. For now, folks, I'm just going to, before I go, so you can see my family up there. There we go. I don't like to leave. There we go. Is that me? Here we go. Very briefly, there's all there. Okay, thank you, family. Thank you. And that clip does exist. It's not something that was shown by my family. It's archived at BBC somewhere. And remember, Jimmy Savile was the one that raped how many hundreds of children? Okay, folks. For now, bye. Thank you, family. I see the one up there. Thank you.